I'm going to be walking you through our micro trainings feature. So what this is it's taking what's traditionally a separate section of the application in the post orders, and it's breaking it down to the individual checkpoint level. So instead of relying on the guards to navigate to this dedicated spot and read, this long narrative about the things that they're supposed to be doing on the property, what it's going to do instead is it's going to break it apart while they're going through their patrol tours at the individual checkpoint level. That way they have a resource that they're able to reference as they're going about their patrols. Makes it a lot easier. So how does micro training help? Well, it's quick step-by-step instructions built directly inside of the application. So instead of relying on a third-party application where you can actually host videos, we just built it directly into the app. And not only did we build it directly into the app, but we've attached it to the individual checkpoint level. So as somebody's going through their checkpoints and the patrol tours, they're not having to click away from that, go into the post order section, read through, all the instructions that we're giving them, and they're probably not really digesting it anyways. We've just broken apart through means of video and photos at the checkpoint level. Makes it incredibly simple to learn, and helps new guards learn fast. So a new guard doesn't necessarily have to be somebody that you've hired that's brand new to your team. A new guard could be considered as somebody that's covering a guard post or patrol route for the night. And usually what happens is somebody will call out, and then we'll reach out to our teams, and we're in a scramble. We'll just get a warm body to that guard post or even the patrol route. And what tends to happen is we don't have the luxury of a supervisor that's able to go and train them on the duties of the site or the patrol route. And it usually requires ourselves as owners and operators to go out there and train the teams. So the idea behind this is that there's going to be training resources available to them that they're able to quickly reference and watch, where they're going to be able to do a sufficient enough job that we're not going to have, those complaint emails next morning because the security officer didn't know they were supposed to do a specific task. So along those lines, you can see you can really scale your operations this way. You can really cut down on the overhead cost of having somebody drive out there, the financial cost of having that person out there, the time, the energy, everything. And you can really scale your operations. And it doesn't matter if you're doing one site or if you're doing 100 sites. This is going to allow your teams to really get familiar with the properties, especially with some of these patrol routes that are 20, 30, even 50 sites at a time. So this is what the micro trainings look like. You have all the tasks and duties that you're supposed to be doing on the property, the gym lockups, what they're supposed to be looking for in the residential parking areas, the pool lockups, where it's especially critical when you're talking about looking for unsupervised children, broken glass, left behind personal belongings, moved furniture that can cause, trip hazard, all these things that the security officers are supposed to be made aware of for one site. And if you multiply that by any given number, then it really starts to be a fire hose of information that we expect our teams to be up in tune with. So by having the micro training features, they can walk through the property, and when they're in that given area, they just click into it, they watch what they're supposed to do, and then they move on to the next thing. So it conveys information a lot more clearly. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to walk you through what it actually looks like in the application. Okay, so now we have the Vision InSites application up, and right away you can tell this is something that's completely different than anything that it's out on the market today. And what's different about it is you can see we have these micro trainings attached to each of these tasks. So these are all the key points of interest that the security officer needs to patrol while they're on site at the Infinity Apartments. So we have the pool, we have the laundry room, leasing office, all these areas. But what I'm going to focus on is a fitness center. So I'm going to click into there. And this is one of our customers actually did, and he did such a great job. I thought it would be the perfect example. So the scenario is I'm a security officer. It's my first time at the Infinity Apartment, and I've reached the fitness center, and now I need to know what to do in this area. So in other software, they rely on just what you're seeing here is written instructions, and we kind of get away with it for something as simple as this task, but we all know that in our operations, there are procedures that are a lot more detailed and a lot more information that the security officer needs to be made aware of. So instead of writing a book's page worth of information that the security officer is more likely not to read, the more we add in, what we're going to do instead is we're going to watch a micro training video on the things that I need to do in this area. So I'm going to go ahead and play this through. It's about 25 seconds long, but it's going to give you a really good idea on how you can use this in your own operations.
This is the gem. You're going to make sure that unit is off. And come over here. You make sure this unit is off as well. And the picture displayed, press this button and that will turn off this AC unit. And then make sure these windows are closed. Alright, and then latch them.
So as you can tell, that was a great video. It really made it clear all the different things that need to be factored in when the security officer is locking up the fitness center. It pointed out how to close off the AC unit, the windows that need to be closed, making sure the latch has been activated. So there's a lot of different use cases that the micro trainings can be used for. So that's pretty much it. If you would like to learn more about micro trainings and how it can be used in your operations, do feel free to reach out.